Today I give you my tips on setting up a styled shoot that will actually book you work as a photographer. We also use off-camera flash, and I have a new preset up on Patreon. Taylor Jackson.
Shooting 67 weddings last year.
Taylor Jackson, welcome.
So Taylor, you are well known in this community. You're an amazing photographer.
Today we are doing a styled shoot with Jess Hobson, and the styled shoot kind of came together because somebody asked me on YouTube how to set up a styled shoot, so now we're making this video. And the new styled preset is available for all Patreon members as of 9 a.m. today. Here is my regular 2019 preset, and here is the styled preset. It is used on every single image in this video. Basically, like, my tips for putting together a styled shoot is if you are a brand new photographer and you don't really know anyone specifically in the wedding industry around your town, there's a pretty good chance that nobody's gonna wanna work with you, unfortunately. Wedding planners get hit with lots of requests to do styled shoots, and they don't really take up a whole lot of them from people that are completely unknown. Once you have a few weddings, once you've maybe worked with that wedding planner or the decorator or florist or whatever it might be on an actual wedding day, at that point usually it's good to ask them. In the beginning though, you can set everything up yourself. You can go out, you can buy everything you need to set up a shoot. Usually this is kind of Patreon business content, but my one business tip advice is that if you want to build your own portfolio. So you're able, like, if you're creating this work, one, you're generating more opportunities with the venue and with florists and with just creating good work. And then two, today we're actually shooting the entire portfolio for the actual wedding venue. It's a business owner that wants to start attracting weddings, but they have no portfolio to show their potential couples. So by creating this work, I've kind of become the preferred vendor because I'm the only vendor that's really photographed there. So
I live closer, Taylor.
Tim does live closer. We can do it together, Tim. Let's go.
Yeah. Time I feel the the dolphin in the sea, rolling in the waves, floating with the breeze. Got my sunny shades on, play my favorite song. Thankful for the charm, life rocking.
What's step one?
Step one is to cut a hole in the box. Is that what you're looking for? It's trained.
What I got?
Have my Nikon D850, got the 35, which I'm probably gonna use quite a lot. And then I have my bag of things that we're gonna get into in a little bit. And then I have an AD200Pro to light everything up because it's kind of a lot darker than I was expecting in here. So I'm happy I brought that. How's that audio?
I don't know.
I have my $45 Godox Octobox. How many sides are there? And we're gonna light up the stationery. I never have time to set this up on a wedding day, but because we actually have time today, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna do this with the AD200Pro pointed back into here. So it's gonna light it up all nice and nice soft light. Tim, you in there? So I'm gonna do my best to kind of angle it down a little bit here. And we're getting some nice soft window light, so I'm really just kind of adding a little bit of complementary light. I'm not trying to overpower the scene, or maybe I am, I don't know. We'll experiment with a few different things and see what works out best. And then I have the X2TN product name transmitter, which I like because it has this little wheel down here. So you basically select what group you want. So if this is on A channel, so I hit that, and then I instantly have access to how powerful it is. And a full pop of this thing is quite bright. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to expose for what's going on, and then I'm gonna add this in slowly. So I'm gonna start it at its lowest intensity down at 1/128. Looks pretty nice. I think I'm kind of happy with that. I find it easier to shoot details in live view where I just kind of see exactly what I'm getting, and that includes the f-stop, whereas with a digital SLR, if you're looking through the viewfinder, you do not see your true depth of field if you're shooting through here if you stop down to like f16, but if you stop down in live view, you just see what's going on. If you shoot a camera that has an EVF, you already see what's going on. It's also important to move your light around. Usually if I walked into this scene, I would maybe have an off-camera flash set up bouncing off of this big white area here and coming back into the scene. What I did with the softbox there was technically correct, but I like the texture of bouncing off this wall even better than that. You're not supposed to have your camera strap in the shot, or maybe you are. Maybe that's the new thing. Little tiny camera strap in the corner there. Texture, three-dimensionality. That's all for now. I'm gonna turn off my microphone. You on a boat? Brief interruption here, and it's not to sell you something, but join Patreon. So basically we went out with these grand ideas to, one, do the shoot and make it awesome, and then also make this YouTube video that described my, I guess, like best strategies for actually putting these shoots together. And we kind of failed on the YouTube aspect of it. So if you want to go back to the actual photos, here's a timestamp. But if you want to listen to a little bit about what I would recommend, or what I would recommend to you to do to set up a styled shoot of your own, you can continue to stay with me in my donut shirt on Donut Shirt Friday, which is, this is the first and only, so welcome. Styled shoots, you can spend $20,000 and make an amazing one that is gonna be like the greatest styled shoot you've probably ever seen in your life. But there's not a whole lot of return on investment on doing a single amazing shoot like that, unless it's like really like, if it's something that can go viral, maybe it's worth it, maybe, just do a bunch of cheap ones. So the easiest way, and the way that today actually worked out, and it pretty much like, so Jess, our model, all the clothes that you actually see in this shoot are all just from her closet. I think she borrowed a few pieces, but other than that, everything is literally from her closet, which is amazing. She is a gem of a human that we were able to find that fit this vibe. But quite honestly, like for my selfish purposes as a photographer that needs something that kind of looks white and wedding-y in my portfolio, I could have been in contact with Jess, convinced her to like come out and do a shoot with me and wear some of her clothes, and that would have been a great addition to my portfolio. Looking back in my history as a wedding photographer, I made a lot of okay decisions, I made a lot of good decisions, but the only decision that I never really consciously made was one that took me about 5 years to kind of figure my way out of. And that was when I started doing shoots with my friends in the beginning, because nobody else would really hire me. So I just convinced my friends and my couples of friends to go out and just do shoots with me. And it worked out really well. And I was building a portfolio that was in the direction of what I wanted my future life to be. My like dream of wedding photography and my life in general, I guess, is just to be photographing the weddings of friends that I haven't maybe met yet. But it feels like I'm literally going to my friends' weddings every single weekend now, which is amazing. But it took me a while to get there. What could have sped that process up was that if I just would have focused on building these shoots and like doing these styled shoots in this style, rather than also featuring a lot of the organic work that was coming in, that you have to be in control of your portfolio. If you're not, somebody else is going to be in control of your portfolio, and you're going to end up shooting a lot of stuff that you don't want to shoot. So the more that you can be hands-on and actually create the images that you 100% want to create in the beginning, the faster you're going to get up and running in a business that you actually like, that you enjoy every single day, rather than letting somebody else lead the direction of your life. For styled shoots specifically, the simplest and easiest way is to find somebody that owns some white garments that you can bring out. If they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, awesome. Go out and take as many photos as you possibly can. The next level of that would be if you want to start getting something with more hard costs involved, you got to make it as easy on those other vendors as possible. So if you want flowers, if you want floral in a shoot, the easiest barrier to entry is if you can literally shoot it in a floral, like in their shop. That's gonna be the easiest way for you to get that shoot together. So maybe you don't do it like on a big grand scheme with like 7 other vendors involved. Maybe you just find a model and you go into this flower shop, and that's one shoot. And if you can do 5 or 6 of these shoots, you can piece together a portfolio that looks really, really good and also has the image that you want it to have, because you have literally been hands-on with the entire thing. So go out and create as many of these shoots as you possibly can, and don't worry if you can't get a dress from a bridal shop, or if you can shoot it in the bridal shop or shoot it around the corner from the bridal shop. And the most important thing is just to be actively doing as much work as you possibly can. The more work you do, the more opportunities you're going to create. So start creating more work and more opportunities today, and you're going to find yourself in a much better place, much faster, and it's going to continue to pay off for the rest of your life. So back to the shoot. Join Patreon. The preset you're going to see in this video is on Patreon today. So you can get that. Here's the shoot. Here we go. All right, so the closer you get your light, the more texture you're gonna get out of the scene. So I'm gonna get this really close. I'm gonna get all the detail shots that I want, and then I'm gonna try bouncing this kind of off of here and just kind of see what it does, because you can kind of plan best you can, but when you actually get a light setup, especially if you're somebody that doesn't traditionally use a lot of off-camera lighting, you kind of have to experiment a little bit. I feel like that's kind of most of the fun with off-camera lighting. That looks very nice. Mike is going to like this image. It's a very marketing image with a big logo. So this is going to be 10 out of 10 for him. I feel like most of the day that I'm kind of just shooting for other people, because today we are just creating marketing images, and I can really use anything as a photographer, but the more value I can create out of everyone's time here, kind of the better. Another thing I'm trying to do kind of with the off-camera light is I'm trying to make it look like it's actually a wedding. It's nighttime. It's not just 9:30 in the morning. So I'm adding an off-camera light to kind of emulate what it actually might be like after dark here, so people can better envision themselves in this actual space for their wedding day. I think to make great marketing images, you have to make them not necessarily abstract, but ambiguous enough that people can picture themselves in the actual scene. So when I'm picking my marketing images for advertisements, it's always usually like a couple holding a hand looking away from the camera. It's a lot harder for somebody to connect with just a beautiful close-up than it is just like holding hands and actually experiencing the day. Back to live view. All right, a few different versions of that. It's raining quite a lot outside. We made this super umbrella by taping a light stand to another umbrella to hold over Jess so that it didn't rain down upon her, and did some details of the flowers outside with some green space background. I wish that we could have spent more time outside, but it really was quite rainy pretty much all of the morning we were shooting, and that also cut down the light coming through the garage door, so I relied a little bit more on my Octobox to actually kind of be the main light of the scene, whereas usually I would be shooting just with ambient, and later in the shoot we're actually going to pivot a little bit more towards that. And we've just kind of used all the floral to just create a nice natural frame. And I really, really like all the photos so far. I was then curious what would happen if I shot through the glass. Shooting through glass, getting a lot of reflections really does kind of just make a much softer image. Sometimes it can be the look you're after, sometimes it cannot be. Here is what we got through the glass right now. And again, going back to creating as much value as you can for other vendors, taking a few shots of everybody that worked on the project together as well, definitely makes everybody happier at the end of the day. All right, we've resorted to natural light. We brought the big garage door up. We're out here in the rain, but it looks really incredible. And now we have a little bit more space to work with here. That looks really great. Cool, I'm gonna switch a lens. Actually, you know what? Do you wanna do exactly what you're doing? You're kind of looking down kind of at your flower that way. Those shots look pretty good with the 35, but the 85, what it's gonna do is it's gonna make the background look a little bit bigger. Plus with the 85, you get more separation as well. So basically what that means is that nice foreground roll off into focus and then roll out. Now that the door is open, I can actually kind of get away a little bit to give some distance. Shooting in a set like this is actually really challenging for me. If you've seen any of my other videos, I like to move around and just do a lot of different things in different locations and see what's working and then double down on that. Here, we really have to focus on just what we've set up, and we can't really even go outside today, unfortunately, which was kind of the original plan. That all said, I'm going back to the basics, which is taking images that are useful, that people like themselves and like their work in. That looks really good with your kind of looking up this way. I've set my light up as a backlight now so that it gives a little more three-dimensionality to the image, as well as lights up a few of the background elements, because you'll notice that as soon as you look inside the garage door, the light gets really dark really quickly. So I'm trying to make the space look a little bit brighter than it does in real life with the light. All right, out here in the rain, and this looks really, really phenomenal. So the shape of the light is good, the three-dimensionality is good, the floral is incredible, and we made a backpack with grasses, which is a thing that I have not seen before. Do you want to turn around so I can see just the backpack? Do we want to try one where they're out each way, kind of like wings almost? This looks really good. I'm happy to be out here in the rain, photographing. This is maybe the most elaborate setup that I've really ever done. That's a perfect shot right there.
you think?
I think the
Polo
fix.
backpacks will be trending next year?
I think backpacks are in. I think that next year, rather than carrying a bouquet like a normal human, if you just put your bouquet in a backpack, I feel like that's the thing. I have to move my light. All right, I'm gonna leave you exactly like that because that looks awesome. Last shots with the bridal backpack, and I think that 2020 is gonna be the year of the bridal backpack. We've invented something here that's like really legitimately amazing. Really great. And if there's any way you can kind of rotate so I can see the back of your dress and also your flowers. I know that's a conflicting thing.
Rotate in a tiny bit towards your flowers there, Jess.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
That's good. Cool. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy. I think so. All right, that is all for today. I think things went really well, even though it rained and we didn't get to use any of the outdoor space. We were able to set everything up. Everything looks good. We invented a couple new bridal trends, so if you see them pop up in 2020, maybe they started here. I don't know. Now everybody has good images to market themselves with, and I think we did some good work today. See you next time.
Umbrella cheers.
There you have it. Sign up to Patreon. It's posing month. So the month of October, we're doing the Introvert's Guide to Wedding Photography Posing, which means if you're quiet and shy and you don't really work super well with people and you can't say words to people without overthinking everything, that you should join Patreon. The train.